Here we go again. How you doing, guys? And welcome back to Al's Arcade. It's been a while. Strap yourself in because this is going to be a long one. It's a huge channel update. I'm going to let you know what I've been playing, what's changed in Al's Arcade, pickups, and of course the big game Get, which I have been waiting to showcase on this channel for such a long time. And it is this little cab here. It is this Tatsumi Buggy Boy Junior, which is an extremely rare cabinet, which we're going to get into a bit later. So that is going to be the highlight of the show, as well as some console pickups and other stuff. But let's get into the game room sort of tour or update, if you like. Let's get down to what I call the sort of hub area where I spend most of my time. This is where I sit, play sort of Switch games, PS5 games, where I sit and play my bass guitar, which I have been playing a lot of recently. There's my bass guitar. It is a Music Man Dark Grey Ernie Ball. Beautiful bass, and I do like playing that quite a bit, so I've been into that quite a lot recently. I've also been playing Taito's Dead Connection for the 10 Pence Arcade podcast, which I do with my good buddy Sean Holly. It's alright. It's not the best game, if I'm brutally honest. But this is why we do the podcast. It's just to get a chance to play these games that we wouldn't normally get to play and actually put some time into them. I've managed to get to stage 4, but yeah, it's not a great game. But it's alright. So I've been playing that on the Switch because I haven't downloaded it onto the Pi, and I did have a PCB of it actually, I think it's a converted, is it a Football Champ? I could be wrong there, but I do have a PCB that's been converted to a Dead Connection, and I went to plug it in the other day and it doesn't work, so don't collect fucking PCBs. It's my fucking tip to you guys. They're a bloody nightmare. Even when I wrap them in this anti-static foil. I mean, to be honest, the majority of them do work, but occasionally you plug them in and some of them don't. So I've been playing it on the Switch, and it works. It plays alright actually with the Pro controller. So I've been playing that. I've also been playing some Super Nintendo games, Super Famicom games. I've been playing Castlevania 4. Now, me and a few other guys, Scott, Alex Ustar, and a few other guys are doing we just pick a game and just see how far we can get into it. And this game I have a lot of nostalgia for back in the day. It's one of the first games I got for the Super Nintendo, and I did get quite far in it. In actual fact, I thought I'd finished it, but it turns out I hadn't, because I've got to levels now that I don't remember. So I've got to stage 10. I think I'm 2 stages away from completing the game, and I don't remember those levels. So this will be, when I do finish it, the first time I've ever finished this game. So I'm on level 10, or level A, I think it is. And it's a cracking game, guys. Super Castlevania 4 is amazing. The atmosphere, the music, the end of level bosses, the mode 7, it's just super cool. So it's been great playing that. And it's given me the inspiration to play Symphony of the Night, which I've never played. And I thought, how am I going to play it? I don't have a PS1. I have a Saturn. I know it's on the Saturn. I'm not going to go out and buy the game. So I've got the Saru card, which turned up the other day. So I'm going to dump it onto here and hopefully play it on the Saturn will be my way of playing it. I've never played it before. I know, that's a shock, isn't it? But, we haven't played everything, guys. You know what I mean? I don't have enough time in the fucking day to play everything. But it's one of those games I've always wanted to play. So that would be my next game to play. So yeah, that's what I've been playing down here. And I've got the BBC Micro out over here. It currently sits on my Nintendo Space Firebird cocktail, which does now work, although it does need a little bit of work to the top of it. But I've been really enjoying playing the BBC Micro. In fact, I've been playing Hunchback, which again I have a PCB of, but I needed a special adapter for it, which I don't have, and I don't think it's going to work anyway. So I thought, you know what, I'll load it up on the BBC Micro, because that's where I remember playing it back in the day anyway, more often than not. And it's a great port. It's by Century Electronics. I think this port is by Ocean. It's a British game, and it's just a great little game, Hunchback. You can't knock Hunchback. It's simple, but I have a lot of nostalgia for it, and it's great on the BBC. I'm going to play that, and then I'm going to take the BBC Micro out and replace it with my Spectrum, and then it would give me more of a viewing area to see the screen of the Space Firebird, and I'll be able to play that as well. It's great, the Space Firebird, because it acts as a nice desk when I'm doing my podcast, when I've got Vertvix controller arcade stick set up there to play Vectrex games, currently playing Vector Kong, which again is a great port. It's not even a port, it's actually the arcade ROM of Donkey Kong on the Vectrex. Look at that. It's just amazing. Absolutely incredible. But I'm not very good at Donkey Kong. I haven't played Donkey Kong for ages. I always preferred Donkey Kong 3 and Junior over Kong. That's not saying I don't like Donkey Kong, I just prefer those games. I'm just better at them. So that's the little setup there. I've got all my consoles set up down here. That's my NES, my Famicom Twin. I've got Super Famicom, I've got a PAL version of the SNES, the Saturn, PC Engine and Sega Mega Drive. And then down here my vinyl, which I'm constantly buying. And my PCBs down there. And of course my bass. Now over in this corner, I don't know if you remember when I used to sit in this chair, you probably used to see the backdrop of these New Wave toys, which were on this shelf. I've now moved them out of the way, and I've actually sold 3 of them on. 3 games that I didn't have a lot of nostalgia for and didn't see in the arcade unless they were in Jammer Cabs, which was 1942. I don't think we ever got the dedicated of that over here. It was always in a Jammer Cab, so I sold that on. Space Ace, actually still up for sale. What was the other one? Ghouls and Ghosts, which I always remember in a Jammer Cab. So I sold those, and I've made space for some Neo Geo MVS carts, because that collection is forever growing. So I knew I was going to have to make space sooner or later. So I moved the New Wave toys, and I've fixed them on the wall here. Now, I don't know if this is overkill, guys. This was an idea a friend gave to me. Ed. It was actually Ed. You remember Ed does the live stuff with me? We're going to get Ed back at some point. He suggested mount them on the wall. And I wasn't quite sure at first. But actually, I quite like it. Look at that. It's pretty cool, isn't it? In between the vinyl. So I've got Tempest, Dragon's Lair, Food Fight, Missile Command, Q*bert and Asteroids. They're all games I remember in the arcade back in the day, actually, except Food Fight. I don't remember that one. But I think they look cool. Gives the wall 3D look. And they're all wired up, so you can actually just take them off these little plinths, which are almost invisible, like floating shelves. They're all plugged in, constantly charged up. So if people want to play them, and just take them off the wall, sit them in your lap, and you can play away. So yeah, I quite like that idea. It's quite cool. And then I've got my vinyl in between, so I rotate these around. So at the moment I've got an album here that I used to love back in the day. David Roth, Eat 'em and Smile, what an album. Steve Vai on guitar, Billy Sheehan on bass, Greg Bissonette on the drums. Man, that fucking album fucking blew me away when it came out. It was unbelievable. Stone Temple Pilots, another great band. Really great album that is, one of my favourite albums. And Gary Newman, Pleasure Principle, which I like as well. I do like my New Wave stuff. So yeah, it's a little bit of a change around there. I'm really pleased with it, actually. I'm really chuffed with the way my room is looking now. I absolutely love coming in here. There's not much I will change, to be honest with you. There's not much I want in here. There is one more cab on its way. Now, do you remember my favourite game is Defender? I love Defender, right? And a friend of mine wanted my Defender, and I said, well, the only way I'd sell my Defender is if I got a Stargate Cabaret. And he found one in America. So he brought it, and I said to him, well, do you want to just do a straight swap? Because I can get more cabs in here if I've got Cabarets, and I think this lineup of Cabarets looks awesome. So the Stargate, Williams Stargate, when that arrives, which is on its way now from America, will go next to the Robotron Williams, because it's the same cabinet and same profile as this one. So it will go next to... Oh, that doesn't look good, look. Oh, something's gone wrong there. Let's turn her off and back on again. That's not good. Oh my God, let's see what's wrong with that. See if it'll fire up again. It did have issues a couple of weeks ago with the soundboard. Let's see if it comes back on. Initial test, operational. There you go. Maybe just overheating a little bit. So yeah, the Stargate will go next to Robotron, and then obviously the Neo Geo Lord's Vale will have to go on this side of the room, which means at some point the pinball's going to have to be returned. Because I don't own this pinball, you know, this is on loan. And I don't want too much in this room, guys. I really don't. I quite like having a space. In fact, I'd like more space, to be honest with you. So once that goes, I can shuffle these up. The MVS will go on the end here, next to the collection, which I think will look nice. And, you know, I'll be back to my vids. But that won't be for a while yet. I said to myself, a year with the pinballs, just to try them out, see if I like them. You know what? I do like them. And this is a new pinball as well. So the first pinball I got was Stranger Things, that Matt from London Pinball loaned me, brought that up. I loved that game. I loved the theme. I loved the series. So naturally, I really did connect with that pinball game. Then he gave me Centaur, because that had to go back. That had problems, and do you know what? I didn't gel with it at all. It's an old pinball, a lot slower game. It was cool looking, but it didn't inspire me to go up and play it. So he come up here to try and fix it, and he brought this up as well, just in case he couldn't fix it, and he couldn't. So he just said, look, let me just swap it out for an Attack from Mars. Now this apparently is from the same designer who designed Stranger Things, so it's almost the same layout. So it feels, when you play it, quite similar to Stranger Things. It's kind of like a fan layout, and it's cool. I like it. It's a great game. But I'm not so keen on the theme. The theme doesn't do anything for me, not like Stranger Things. But I'm really enjoying the game, and I really do appreciate you giving me the chance to play these games, Matt. And I think I've realised now, like, if I was ever to own a pinball, it'd have to be a modern pinball, a new pinball, like a Stranger Things or a Jaws or an Iron Maiden or Lord of the Rings or whatever. Do you know what I mean? This is, and a theme. When you've only got one pinball, theme is everything. It's all right if you've got a whole row of them. It doesn't matter so much, the theme, but if you've only got one, it wants to be a theme that you absolutely love. So that's what's happening with the pinball. I'm enjoying it, and I will do a video on Attack from Mars at some point. But of course, the Tatsumi Buggy Boy Jr. is the game that I want to showcase in this video a little bit later on. It's an amazing game. It's a game that I have a lot of nostalgia for, and I'm so chuffed to get this in the collection. We'll get into that a bit later. Stern's Rescue. On all these games, guys, people ask me a lot, how often do you play these games? I play them every other day. Not every single game, but I will literally coin up at least 2 games and play them at least once a day. And I love that. It might not be the arcades, it might be the consoles, but I will play something every day in this room. I love being in this room. I'm not constantly in here, but I'm out in the day, all day long, in all weathers. It's actually quite nice to be in here relaxing, either playing my guitar, watching a movie, or playing some arcade games. And as well as, I'm a family man. I've got kids, I'm a family man, and I love doing stuff for the family as well. So it's just getting that balance just right. But this is my hobby, always has been, and always will be, and I absolutely love it from all aspects, from playing the games to restoring them to looking at the artwork and researching them. Not that I do a lot of research. But yeah, Rescue I've been playing. I'm really gutted because my mate Steve, do you know Silly Steve? He had a board and he managed to get 200,000 on Rescue. I think I've got 100, I'm in the 190s. I'm not far off beating his score. Now, I don't know whether that was on an original board, Steve, was it? Or was it on a bootleg? I can't remember. So that's my score to beat. So I have been playing Rescue a lot recently. I managed to get 150,000 on it the other day, which I was pretty happy with. Food Fight's going well. Now, Food Fight, a few weeks ago, wasn't playable. In fact, since I've got this cab, and it's still not mine, this is on loan, but I do aim to purchase this, was unplayable because the joystick was literally falling apart. It was absolutely knackered, and I think that's the reason why back in the day it didn't sell well or didn't earn enough money, because a lot of kids went up to it and the joystick was knackered, because this is like an analog stick. It's not like a normal joystick, it's an analog stick. In fact, it's one of the first analog arcade sticks, and although they were designed pretty cool, pretty amazing for their time, they weren't, they weren't that reliable. and they tended to fall apart quite quickly. So I managed to get this Repro joystick, and it's made all the difference. And you cannot play this game without the analog stick. So that's been really nice. Been playing a lot of Food Fight. I managed to get over 100,000 the other day, which was cool. And then we've got Sky Skipper. There's not a lot to say about that. I've talked about that enough. But you know, it's a game that will never go. It's, you know, I've got so much history with the game. It's not going anywhere. Even though I hardly ever play it, it's just one of those games I can never get rid of. And then over here in the corner, in the little alcove area, my electrical and midis, I've got two games I've absolutely fallen in love with. The Speed Rumbler, which we did for the 10pence Arcade podcast last month. It's a Capcom game. I think it's from 87, would it be right? Or 88? I think it's a brilliant game. I really do. It's got a weird inertia about it. The game does push you up the levels, so you have to keep moving. And the way the car moves takes a little while to get used to, but I really like it. It's like a Mad Max kind of GTA type game. It's really cool. You can get out the car. If your car's about to explode, you've got to get out the car and just hang around till the other one turns up. I think it's got some really cool elements to the game. I really enjoy it. So I've been playing a lot of that. And I've got my original Section Z PCB in here. Another great underrated Capcom game. I love this era of Capcom. It's so cool. Section Z is just an amazing game. If you haven't played this, guys, I can't recommend this enough. It's such a cool game. Both those games are super cool. So yeah, that's about it in the arcade side of things. It's looking really cool. As I say, I don't want for much more. The only game that I'm missing is Williams Stargate. When that arrives, I've got all the games I want, guys. And then at that point, I will do a game room tour, because I'll have everything in here I want. I'll have all the stories to tell, and I will do a game room tour. But until that turns up, probably looking about another month or two, and I'll do a game room tour. So that's it really, guys. The only other thing I want to add at this end of the wall, which is looking super cool as well. Look how cool that looks. Just the colour in this room is amazing. It's hard to capture on film. And you know what, I have to have the lights on bright white, because if I have them on dark, or they're usually on colours, so I can change the colours in these lights. They're hue lights, so they all change colour if I want to, and I dim them right down. It's got a great atmosphere in here, but for the point of this video, I have to have them on quite bright just to capture everything in here. I've gone on a right tangent there, haven't I? What I was going to say is, the last thing on this back wall is, there's an empty space here, is for the Robocop marquee, which I want to make a light box for, but I just haven't got round to it. So that will go up there, and it's kind of like a curved marquee off the original cab. That will go up there, and this kind of back wall's done. I love this back wall. It's so cool. What with the cosmic alien back glass and all the UV reflective artwork and the neons, it's just super cool. Oh yeah, let's not skip over this. This is my console collection, my arcade collection. So the Neo Geo collection at the top, which is ever growing. I think I'm going to need probably a third shelf for that. That's why I moved some of them over here. I'm nearly 60% to a complete collection. I've got more coming. In fact, I've got 10 new games since my last video, so I'm way behind on videos for that. I'm absolutely loving the Neo Geo, I really am. Switch, I've got some new pickups for that, which I'll show you later in this video. The Super Famicom collection's not done. There's still some games I want to get for that, like Pokken Rocky 2, Ninja Warriors I want. There's a load. I mean, the Super Famicom I could keep on going, and the Mega Drive. The Mega Drive's just as good. And I just pick up the odd games for the NES as well when I want them. So yeah, that's my library. I love my library. It's a well curated one, and I love it. The only part that's not well curated is the Neo Geo, because I'm going for a full set, but I love it. I love just picking up these big box Southtown boxes and just think, oh, I'll plug that in tonight and give that a go. It's just so cool having a library. Some of these, like this row here, which I haven't even showcased in a video yet, these are by another company, I think in Europe. They're smaller, they're like AES boxes. I actually wish I'd gone with these now. because they do feel better made. But I'm balls deep in the Southtown boxes now, so I've got to go with them. And I've got more arriving next week, so expect another Neo Geo video soon, guys. Which gets played a lot. The MVS gets played a lot. It really does. At the moment, I'm playing 8-man, Last Resort, which is rock hard, really hard game, and Top Hunter. Really enjoying that at the moment. That's an unusual game. Yeah, it's just a great system. I wish I'd got into it a few years ago. Well, I was always into it, but not as a collector, if you know what I mean. So anyway, that is the room, guys. Just a quick update. And now I think we'll do some pickups is what we'll do now. And then at the end of the video, we will do a part on Tatsumi's Buggy Boy Jr. because this is a game I've been wanting to showcase for such a long time. Guys, can you believe it? I've actually been on YouTube now over 10 years. Wow, that's incredible. Unbelievable to think that, really. And the reason why I bring it up is because it was only a short while ago, my partner Nush said, "What are you doing down there?" I said, "Well, I'm going to record a video, like I always do." She said, "Well, what do you talk about?" I said, "Same things I've been talking about for the last 10 years, believe it or not, which is games." What's coming in, what's gone out, what I've been picking up, what I've been playing, all that kind of stuff, you know. And she said, "Well, what do you get out of it?" I said, I didn't really hesitate, but I thought to myself, yeah, I mean, it has been a long time. What do I get out of it? Because this channel isn't monetized in any way whatsoever. I don't make any money out of YouTube and wouldn't have it any other way. I don't need to make money out of this. This is my hobby and I love doing it. And I love sharing my stories and everything that I pick up with you guys, like-minded people, right? I guess it is the interaction and the comments which I enjoy, and the community of people that I meet at UK VAC meets and other meets and expos and whatever. I don't know, I've made a lot of friends through YouTube. A lot of people have reached out to me and I've made friends through YouTube, and I wouldn't change that for the world. You know, I've met some amazing people and I've stayed friends with them for many years, like Whitney Roberts from the USA. If you're out there, Whitney, how you doing, buddy? You know, the whole Sky Skipper project, you know, if it hadn't been for YouTube, then I hadn't gone to America, I wouldn't have this super rare arcade game, and I wouldn't met the amazing people that I've met over the last 10 years, as well as so many other people. I think that's why I do it and why I keep coming back. And I just enjoy talking about the games, really, and showcasing them. And she said, "Oh, yeah, you know, I get that," but she said, I couldn't do it. And I get it, it's not for everybody, it is difficult. You know, people get into YouTube for all sorts of reasons, don't they? They see maybe as a career, I don't know. Or they see it as a hobby like I do. I mean, there's just so many channels out there. I think there is, because there are so many channels, there's space for everybody, you know. However you want to do it, it's entirely up to you, you know. And if you don't like it, you just don't watch it, do you? It's as simple as that. That's how I feel, because I don't just watch gaming videos. I'm into all sorts of stuff. You know, I'm really into history, so I like watching a lot of history channels. I'm actually going down a rabbit hole at the moment of paleoanthropology, which is the study of ancient humans. I love all that. I just recently watched a documentary on Netflix called Cave of Bones, which I highly recommend if you've got an interest in it. It is absolutely fascinating. So I've gone down that whole rabbit hole, and things have changed a lot in the last 10 years with the human genome and DNA. So it's moving forward at quite a pace, and I find it quite interesting. So I'm really into that. I'm also really into my music, so I watch a lot of music videos, people that put videos up of how to play this, how to play that, techniques. Some of them are sort of Patreon and stuff like that, but I feel like those sort of sites that are actually giving you something are actually worth paying into. Not that I do, but I think they're worth, you know, the Patreon or whatever, give them a cup of coffee here or there, because they're teaching me something which normally would cost me money if I went elsewhere. So I totally get that, but there's no way on earth I would monetize this channel. In fact, my last channel was never monetized until I became a business as the museum, just to bring some more revenue in to keep that business going. The channel, the old channel, I don't know what they've done with it really. They did put a video up on that channel, and I noticed that they deleted all the comments, which is not a surprise, is it? If you take over someone else's channel that they've been doing for 10 years as a hobby, and then you just hijack it and put your own stuff on there, I find that totally bizarre. I mean, I just don't get it. Why would you do that? It's like one of those old B movies where the aliens take over the TV channel, and you know, it's like, what did you expect? You're going to piss people off, right? So yeah, they got that channel. I don't know why they. Well, I do know why they want it. It's all about money, but you know, that's history now. I've moved on from that, and I'm quite happy doing this. And they do their thing, I do my thing. You know. But I've been doing the same thing that I've been doing for 10 years. Nothing's ever changed, really. I do get people still asking me about it. And of course, you know, I would love to have that channel back. It is my channel. It is my content. You know, all of that stuff is my content. I own all those videos. In fact, I've still got them all. And I have been slowly uploading them to this channel because they're my creations, so I own them. So I have been doing that with some of the games rooms, and if you go into some of my playlists, you can go back and watch a load of my early videos, but there's still a ton more I need to upload, which I will do at some point. It's just that the newer stuff gets pushed down the line when I do, so I just have to do it very slowly, incrementally. But yeah, I mean, I've got all that stuff. That's my history. That's all part of me and my journey. It's not their journey, it's my journey. And I will slowly re-release those videos on this channel. But yeah, being on YouTube for 10 years has been a lot of fun. I've seen a lot of games come and go. And do you know what, guys? Now I really feel I'm really chuffed with the games room. I've got some really cool games in here. Some absolute classics, you know, Robotron, Centipede, Tempest, Stargate to come, which I'm really looking forward. They're like your staple diet of coin up classics. And then I've got the obscurities like Sky Skipper, Food Fight, Buggy Boy, Rescue. You know, it just separates my arcade from anyone else's with a few obscurities that I like and I remember from back in the day, as well as the jammer cabs, which every arcade should have a jammer cab. I mean, jammer cabs were everywhere. In fact, most kids played on jammer cabs back in the day, you know, so you've got to have those. And the Neo Geo as well is a lovely addition to have here. That gets so much play. So I'm really chuffed with the games room. I love coming down here, playing my guitar, watching your videos. If you're a YouTuber, I watch all your videos on this big screen and then comment on my phone. Make sure you comment on your phone, guys, because people do put a lot of effort into these videos. And it is, like I say, it's all about the interaction, the comments, and even if it's just a small comment like great video, whatever, it means a lot to us YouTubers, especially when we're not in it for the money, we're just in it because we enjoy it. You know, and I think, you know, if no one commented on my video, no one liked it, it's like, well, what's the point of doing this? You know, it's because you interact with me that I feel like I'm sharing this with like-minded people. So that's why we do it. And I shall carry on, guys. I don't know how long I'll be doing YouTube going forward, but I've got no plans to stop at the moment because I still love the hobby. Right, let's get into the pickups and then we will have a look at Tatsumi's Buggy Boy. I'm really excited to show you that. So first off, these are some PCBs that my good friend Ol has loaned me, which we're going to do some videos of, guys. In fact, that's what I want to do going forward. Just go through all my PCB collection, like I'm doing with the Neo Geo MVS, and just do like a playthrough and chat about the game and rate it at the end once I've played it. And, you know, I don't want to be buying loads of PCBs. So Ol said, well, let me loan you some. So he's loaned me some PCBs. I'm not sure what all of them are, But I do know that one of them is one of my favourite games on a Super Nintendo, and that's Kiki Kai Kai, aka Pocky and Rocky. So I've got an original PCB of Kiki Kai Kai and two others which I'm not sure what they are. So I'll thank you for that, and we will definitely do some videos of those. They would be great videos for me because they'd be short and sweet and easy for me to record without having to worry too much about editing. Right, moving on to some pickups. I've got some fantastic pickups here, guys. Some Super Nintendo and some Switch is all I've got. Now, I am picking up stuff all the time, but my focus at the moment is purely Neo Geo. That's not to say I'm not picking other stuff up, but with the focus being on the Neo Geo, that's where my money and time is going into at the moment. I'm determined to get a full set MVS collection. And I've got 20 odd new games for that system since I did my last Neo Geo video. So I've got a lot to catch up on. In fact, that's why I feel like I'm doing this long video today, just so I can get on top of what I've been up to and what I've picked up. But if, you know, a SNES game or Mega Drive game or Switch game turns up, it's a great deal, I will pick it up. So this I got at my local shop in Wantage called We Love Retro, I think it is called, or I Love Retro. It's a lovely little retro game shop in Wantage. They do toys, they do retro games, and the guy in there's a really nice guy to deal with, Steve. Yeah, he's got a sticker on the back, Love Retro. They put their little stickers on the back here so to say it's complete, CIB complete. And this is NBA Jam, the tournament edition, which is the one I had back in the day, and it's PAL. So I'm just picking up some of the PAL games I had from back in the day. This is a fantastic game, one of the best basketball games I've ever played, as well as, more recently, Street Hoops on the Neo Geo. That's another really good game that I've only just got into, but for me, it's always been NBA Jam. I like all the games from the series. I even like the N64 one. I think it was called Hang Time. I thought that was really good. But the SNES one is where I've got the most nostalgia. So yeah, really chuffed to pick this up. This is the tournament edition PAL on the Super Nintendo. And it's in fantastic condition. Yeah, really good game. If you haven't played it, guys, it's definitely worth playing. The game, you know, the game's like an arcade game. And they're the sort of sports games that I like. Very arcadey. They're quick. Gameplay's quick. Intense. And you know, they're quite skilled game. You need some skill sets to play them. So really chuffed to get that back in the collection. Also picked up Nightmare Busters, which is a sequel to the game that was released on the arcade PCB. It was called Free Wonders. There was a game, Chariot, I think that's what it's called, Push Pull, and there was another one. So it's like an action platformer, and this was supposed to be released for Super Nintendo, but it got panned or it just never got finished. And the fighting team, what was it? Street Fighter team released it on the SNES a few years ago now, about 10 years ago. So I have owned this before. I think it's a cracking game. A couple of the levels are really difficult, but it's a beautiful looking game. Really, really cool looking game. And this has been slowly going up in price over the last few years. It's quite hard to get hold of now. And I think this is the American version. Yeah. So it's cool to get that on the system. Really love that. That was a lovely pickup. And then I've got a game that I have so many fond memories of playing back in the day. You know, everyone's got Pilot Wings, right? Everyone knows about Pilot Wings. When it was released, it was quite an early game on Super Nintendo. It was almost treated like, people say it was like a tech demo, which I thought was a bit harsh, because actually there's a really good game here. It's just when you get to level 5, if I can get the box, I hate these plastic box with a little tag here. You can never get your fingers in there. I usually swap these over for the other ones. And I cannot get it out. This is why I don't like them. There we go. So yeah, a lot of people in the reviews thought this was like a tech demo, but it wasn't. It was a fantastic game. Had a lot of depth. All the mechanics for all the different vehicles are really good. I love the rocket belt. The skydiving was one of my favourites. The biplane. But then when you got to controlling the helicopter top down with the Mode 7, it got really difficult really quickly. But I love having the PAL version. I do have the Japanese version of this as well. But what I like about the PAL version is the instruction booklet, because it goes into real depth in how to fly all the different vehicles, from the aeroplane, the skydiving. It's just super cool. How to flare up on your parachute. Yeah, it's a lovely little instruction booklet, and just a fantastic game. It's a really relaxing game. I like all of the Pilot Wings games right up until the 3DS version, which I thought was a really relaxing game. I really enjoyed that. It's a game they need to bring back. And I know they won't, because it doesn't normally sell well, but you know, to keep the Nintendo fan base, you've got to bring back some of the classics like F-Zero, Pilot Wings. You know, you've got to keep doing it. They're great games. People love that stuff. It's what defines the Nintendo powerhouse, is all those games. We want them back. We want them on all systems, updates on all of them. Like this one, Top Gear would be another great game if Super Nintendo got their hands on it. Super Nintendo? If Nintendo got their hands on it and did a remake of it. This is the first one. I actually prefer Top Gear 2. I think it is a better game. And I love the music in Top Gear 2, but I love the original as well. The second one is really hard to get on the Super Famicom. It's quite expensive as well. So, yeah, might have to go down the PAL route for that. Now, I don't swear any allegiance to any region, guys, because back in the day when you walked into a shop in the 90s, you saw Super Nintendo games from all regions. And sometimes they only had one copy of one game. So you grabbed whatever was available. And it didn't matter if it was Japanese, American or PAL, as long as you had the adapter, the universal adapter, you could play them all. And that's what we did. Obviously, the role-playing games, you wouldn't buy Japanese, but for a lot of the arcade stuff, you could. Even games like Shadowrun, actually, that's another game I really want to get, and I'm kind of torn between whether getting the Japanese version of it or the American or the PAL, because the Japanese one actually has English text, and that's a cracking sort of cyberpunk RPG that I remember playing back in the day. And the box art for the Super Famicom is awesome. Although it's the PAL version of that game that I remember playing back in the day. Next up is Rock and Roll Racing. Another classic isometric racer with the opportunity to build your vehicle up with loads of add-ons, loads of extra weapons, engine builds, all sorts of stuff. And what a soundtrack. It's got all the soundtrack. Well, it's got 4 tracks. They're all sort of metal vibes. Born to be Wild, Highway Star, Black Sabbath on there. It's an awesome game. And I just love the Japanese box art. How cool is that? Cracking game. Rock and Roll Racing. So that's all my Super Nintendo games. I now have some Switch games. These are really cool. Actually 2 there I need to get down. I haven't got here in my pile, so I'll pick them up in a minute. So first up is Neo Inferno. This I bought when it came out it was just DLC. And then they announced limited run they were going to bring a physical copy out of it, and I was all over it because this is a cracking game. It's an action game, sort of beat 'em up type of game, but it's beautiful. It's done in that kind of beautiful 16-bit pixel art, which I love. It's got a cool theme, great soundtrack. It's just a great game to play. I want to return. I want to finish this. I haven't finished this. This is another game I want to finish, as well as Castlevania, is Neon Inferno. So yeah, really cool game. Check that one out, guys. Had to pick up R-Type Delta, which got released on the PS1. I don't know if it got released on the Saturn, but I remember playing this on the PS1 and absolutely loved it. But they've released it onto the Switch. It takes full advantage of my Philips OLED screen. Just look how beautiful the attract mode is. It's super cool. It is a great game, actually. I've really enjoyed playing it. And it just looks great. It really does. So great to get a copy of that. It's HD boosted. So I'm hoping when they release R-Type 3 Third Lightning which they have just recently this week, but I'm getting a physical copy. I'm getting the whole package with the alien, the end of level boss in it as well, because I love that game. Third Lion is such a good game. The whole Mode 7 effects on it are just amazing. So it'd be great to get that on the Switch and just play the HD boosted version of it. So I love R-Type. It's one of those games in the arcade that just blew everybody away. The atmosphere, that boss, that first boss at end of level 1 was just amazing. So yeah, I know a lot of sort of schmuppers, bullet hell lovers don't like these type of horizontal games, but I do. I think they're great. So yeah, great to pick that up. And then I picked up this game that I've been playing a lot of, is Demon's Tilt. So this is a video pinball game that I've been wanting to play, or wanting to have for such a long time. Now, there is a lot of pinball games on the Switch. A lot of them are sort of their idea of what a physical pinball would be like on the Switch. What I mean is they're taking the inertia and the physics of an original pinball and literally put it into a video game. I think that's where they make the mistake. With video pinball, you can do anything in video pinball. You can create any situation in a video pinball. You can have bullet hell, you can have, I don't know, monsters on it, all sorts of stuff to make it different from a physical pinball. Like Devil's Crush on the Mega Drive, Super Famicom. Great games. You had little enemies, orcs and goblins coming down that you had to destroy. You don't get that on an original physical pinball, but you can create it on this, and this is what they've done with this game, and this is what makes this game really, really good. It's a great game, great atmosphere, and I absolutely love it. The guy who created this actually did a sequel called Xenon Tilt, which didn't get a physical release, and it looks better, the sequel, but it's a lot harder to stay focused on the ball because there's so much going on. You end up losing where the ball is. So I actually do find this easier to play than Xenon Tilt. But saying that, Xenon Tilt does look amazing. I had it running here when I had a little meet not that long ago, and people loved it. So yeah, really enjoying this. Demon's Tilt, such a cool game. And the other two games that I've got are the Atari collection. Here we are. Now these two games are the collection 3 and 4, and they're the recharged editions of some old Atari classics from the arcade and from the 2600. So on here you've got Gravatar, Missile Command, Caverns of Mars and Yars. I really like these, and I thought I'll pick these up and then I'll pick up collection 1 and 2, but they're really expensive. I didn't realise how expensive they were. I do own them because I've downloaded them on the Switch, but I want the physical copies. But they're really expensive. But there's some great games on there, like Black Widow, that plays really well on the Switch. But yeah, it's cool to get these. Atari have actually made Atari. When I say Atari, it ain't the Atari that we know and grew up with. It is a new company, basically, just carrying the name. They've actually made arcade games of these games, of all these games. I think they've done one of Black Widow, Gravatar, Centipede, and actually I think they've done a pretty cool job of it. I think they're really, really cool. My mate Jeff, who's got a channel, Jeff, if you're watching, mate, you've done some great videos on those arcade machines. I've put a link to his channel below if you want to check out the arcade versions, the actual cabinets of these games. I'll put a link in the video below. But yeah, definitely worth checking out, guys, if you like Atari. That's about it. That is my pickups, guys. Now we are going to have a look at this beautiful Tatsumi buggy boy, which I've been itching to show you for such a long time. Check this out, guys. So cool. Well, this is it, guys. Buggy Boy Jr. from 1986. Do you remember this one? You got to remember the free screen version. That was the one back in the day. That was really impressive. So that's the one I remember playing. I don't remember seeing this single screen version, but to get the free screen version, I mean, that's a hard find, guys. I know a couple of collectors here in the UK that have got it, and I have played on it, and it looks absolutely amazing. It is so cool because you get the panoramic views of the road, and it does feel so much more immersive. But there's no way I was going to get one in here and sacrifice some of my other games. So when this came up, I had to get it. It is a single screen version called Buggy Boy Jr. Now, I have owned the Data East release, which was Speed Buggy. The game is exactly the same. In fact, the PCB is the same. You can change the name from Buggy Boy to Speed Buggy on the PCB. I think it's just a dip setting. And the game's exactly the same, but the cabinet, the Data East Speed Buggy cabinet, is nowhere near as nice as this one. It just isn't. I've owned two. I ended up actually smashing one up because it was all made of chipboard, and the thing literally just fell apart. Now, this cabinet actually has got a bit of history. So this cabinet was purchased by a friend of mine, Ollie, Muddy Music, aka the Arcade Art Shop. He does loads of artwork for all the arcade community. He brought it from a collector in Europe. I'm not quite sure where, but it had been in a warehouse and it had been in a fire. So as you can see, all around this top here, there's still stains from the smoke damage. I believe there was like 100 cabinets in this room, and only a couple survived, and this is one of the survivors. So it's amazing to see. He's actually done quite a lot of work to it. So he's repaired a lot of the marquee top part of this cabinet. That's all been built out. He's cleaned it all up amazingly. The control panel, not sure whether he replaced the monitor or not, but the monitor is in fantastic condition. It's really bright, no screen burn. I love the little decal here at the top. I've actually changed the steering wheel, so I've got like a new old stock steering wheel, and this I had Mark look at. He changed the bearings inside here, and it's made all the difference. Before it was getting stuck sort of halfway round, but now it just feels like a dream to drive. It really does. It's so smooth. And the gear stick, I'm not sure whether that's original or not, but that feels great. The only thing I did have look at was the Opto board. That needed a little work on it, so Dave, thank you for that, and Mark for sorting that out. But the real issue was actually on the PCB because it wasn't crediting up. So there was a couple of issues on the PCB. We managed to get that sorted, and now it is fully working. I did have kind of like an earth problem with it, but I've just jiggled around the wires at the back and it's now gone. Because every time I was pushing down on that, it would change colour, the colours would go out, but it's working fine now. So it's just obviously a loose lead. But a fantastic game, guys, it really is. The thing I like about this game, and I guess not a lot of people know this, they go up to this cabinet and they think it's just a driving game. I've just got to get to the end of the track in a certain amount of time. Yes, that is true. If you get to the end, you will get a big bonus, but there's loads of other bonuses on the way to bump your score up. So there's these banners that you can go through. They've all got points, 100, 250, 500, and one of them is actually extra time, which gets added to the next not the next lap, the next stage of the race. So your time just keeps getting added, the next leg of the race, I should say. So you definitely want to pick the time up. The flags, if you get them in order, like here it says light blue, yellow, dark blue, purple, red. If I get them in order, I will get a bonus. And you can actually swap the flags around. So while that bonus is reeling, you'll hear it. It's go. You can change the flags around to make it easier for you going around the track. There's also hidden footballs in the game. I know where all of them are. It's just remembering it when you're on the track. And they will give you, I think they give you 1,000 points or 2,000 points, which is essential for getting those high scores. Also, the other really fun thing I love about this game, because it is kind of like a trick-based game, you can hit the logs, they will catapult you up in the air to avoid obstacles, as well as give you a little bit of a push going forward, so make you a little bit faster. But the really fun thing to do in this game is to hit the stones. There's little stones scattered around the track. If you hit them, your buggy will go up on 2 wheels. And you can actually keep the buggy going for quite a long time. And your points will multiply. So you'll get much bigger points. But it is hard to keep it up on 2 wheels. I'm slowly getting used to it. In fact, I can stay up on 2 wheels for quite a long while. But until another car comes along and nudges you, and then you end up crashing. It's a fantastic game, guys. There's 4 different tracks. So once I've mastered the first track, a little bit like Super Hang-On, you can move on to the longer tracks, the more difficult tracks. So it's got a lot going for it. It's a really fun game. And it kind of reminds me of that early sort of polygon graphics that Stunt Race on the Super Nintendo with the FX chip? It kind of looks a little bit like that, kind of cell shaded, like polygons. It's a super cool game. It really is. It's actually got 5 tracks there. So yeah, we're going to take it for a spin and see how far I get. I have managed to make it to the end of the race, but at the moment I'm trying to get my points up. I'm trying to learn where everything is, because I know that will come later, because I've got to beat my mate's score. He's got 81,000 here, so I'm trying to beat that at the moment. But I'll give you a little spin through and show you why I love this game so much. It's so cool. Right, here we go. Let's see how I get on. So there's 5 tracks. I'm going to pick the off-road track, and there's 5 laps to this track. So you've really got to know the track really well, know where everything is to get the maximum points. So let's see how I get on. I want to show you a little bit of the tricks as well. So I may not get to the end of it, but I just want to show you basically the basic mechanics of the game. Beautiful bright colours. I love the colours. It's so colourful. Right, so if we look at the top right hand screen, we've got the first flag is a red flag, which is just to the left here. Up on the gears. Next flag is yellow. Dark blue, which just should be before I go in the tunnel. There it is. Then a sharp left to get that time. And then the next one is a purple. Now here's the football. Got the first football. I know exactly where that is. And I've got all the flags in combination. Over the log and again to push me forward. Now if I need to stop suddenly, what I normally do is just go down a gear instead of coming off the accelerator. So next flag is red. And there's another one here. Oh, and I crashed trying to get the football. So we're on leg 2. There's a light blue there. There's a little rock. Get it up on 2 wheels. See how far I can go on 2 wheels. Quite a long way. Can he hold it? Can he hold it? Oh my God. Oh no, he crashed. He held it so well there. Always difficult going across the bridge because the cars always get in the way and push you out the way into the water. Need another light blue one. Here we go. A yellow. Another rock. Couldn't hold it up then. Oh no. Oh, we held it together. We've got a bit of time as well. Got them in combination again, another football. Right, I'm going to drop it down a gear just to get over the bridge. And I didn't make it. Ah, thought I was going to hit the wall there. Ah, and I didn't make it. There we go, what do we get? 50,000. Look, we've got old score there. I'm going to give it another go and see if I can get a little bit further. That wasn't a great score. Going to try less tricks this time and just go for see how far I can get in the race. I will try and pick up some flags. Missed the red one already. It's all about getting that time. Missed the football. Just want to see how far I can actually get. Need a red flag. There's one. I missed the time. No, I got the time. Light blue. Got a nice bit of added time there. Need a yellow. There she is. No, I'm going to hit the rock. No, I managed to get through it. And as you do a lap, the next lap you go around, they just keep adding more obstacles, more rocks. So you need a red. See, I've got 3 reds now, so I've changed the colours of the flags. Got a nice extra time, but extended time. Need that yellow, and again. Purple, red. Another football. We're doing well, guys. We are doing really well. We've got the bridge though. Oh, and I pushed him off. Nicely done. Nice. Leg 4. Can he do it, guys? Can he do it? I'm not going for the rocks now. I'm just going to try and complete the race. Try and push me out of the way. Oh, the git! I could still do it. See, I'll come down in the gears there. Extra time. I had to come off the accelerator just on that bridge because you... It's a good score. 3 seconds left to the next leg. Just made it. Only just made it. Oh, he's up on 2 wheels. Can he hold it? Get down. That's it. Good boy. Get down. Good boy. Oh my God, I don't know how I've done that, guys. Oh. Get the football, just got it. Oh, he ran out of time, leg 5, what did I get? 81,000, I'm in 3rd place. Oh my God. I was got 83. Unbelievable, I'm not far off. I think if I get all those footballs, I can beat you all. What a game, what a game. Well, that's it for this week's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had a good bank holiday weekend. I really love this game. It did have some ports. I think it made it over to the Commodore 64, the Sinclair Spectrum, which I do remember playing. I'm not sure whether it made it to the BBC Micro, but I know it made it to the Amiga, which is a very good port. So if you don't have access to playing the arcade game, check out the ports because there's some really good ports on a lot of the 8-bit home computers. Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.